Things to know when starting an online business. If you are here, then it's because you are interested in starting an online business and you've watched a couple of videos here and there, but you really want to get your hands on some more information to enlighten you, inspire you, and educate you. So in this video, we're going to go through a list of things you really should know and things I wish I would have known before starting a business. From a lawyer's perspective, here are the top things you need to know if you are starting a business. Number one, it feels natural. This isn't something that someone else has forced upon you. You're not starting a business because your mom and your dad did it or your friends are doing it or because it's the trending thing. You are starting a business because it feels innate and natural to you. If you are thinking about starting a job, for example, when you leave your 9 to 5, or if you're dreaming about the kinds of products you're going to sell while you're at work, sitting at your desk, then starting a business might be the next natural step for you. But if you are going to start a business because somebody has been nagging you to do something with your life, then this probably is not the video for you. Starting a business should feel natural. It should feel like, yeah, I can do this. Starting a business is not really the hurdle that I'm trying to overcome. It's all the other steps. Like, what should I know? What do I have to do? How can I make it a success? So if you feel really excited thinking about the products or the services that you can sell, then starting a business could be for you. But you should also watch the other things on my list to make sure that starting a business is right for you. Number two, if you are the type of person that is willing to embrace challenges and you are willing to accept roadblocks as they come, then starting a business could also be for you. Well, why? Starting a business is not going to be easy. It doesn't mean that you're starting at the top and you're winning every step forward. You are going to encounter a lot of setbacks. Maybe you're going to realize that you needed more money than you expected. Maybe you're going to have to put in more hours than you thought you would. Are you going to have to pull an all-nighter if you start an online business or any kind of business? Not always, but you are going to have to accept the challenges as they come. You might have to go to banks, credit unions, your friends, your family. You might have to take out a business loan. If you're selling products, for example, you might get scammed along the way. You might realize that your future customers don't like your product. Are you willing to accept that customers might leave you negative feedback? Other customers might leave you more constructive feedback, but are you the type of person that is going to internalize this information? Are you going to have a victim mentality and think to yourself, maybe this isn't for me? Because entrepreneurs and business owners face hurdles all of the time in different ways, shapes, and forms. But I want you to know that this is not the end of the road for you. You can keep going. Use customer feedback as a sounding board to keep moving forward. So what I'm trying to say is if you're the fearless type and you're not really put off or scared by any potential challenges that may come in the future, then starting a business could be for you. Number three, if you want to start a business, it is always wonderful if you can find a mentor. And sometimes mentors don't come in the form of people. Sometimes mentors come in the form of books, podcasts, Google searches. Anything you want to find out is pretty much on the internet, right? But if you can find some information provided by somebody who has already walked this path, life will be a little bit easier for you because they're going to tell you what to expect. So kudos to you for watching this video because I've already started a business. I've started this law firm. I'm putting out content for you and have been doing it for a couple of years. So I can tell you that mentorships are really valuable. Now, if you want to find a particular person who is where you want to be, that is the best and ultimate form of advice. But you want to be really careful in choosing the person that you are watching, right? Because you want to make sure that that is the path you want to walk. You want to make sure that is your ultimate goal and your ultimate destination. Early on in the beginning, I made the mistake of watching a lot of business influencers and listening to their podcasts, and I thought, oh my gosh, they really are imparting some amazing advice, information that I still think about to this day. The only problem is that they've built the kind of business that I'm not really interested in building. I know that that's not the path that I want to walk. So if you're thinking about choosing a particular person to watch and to emulate and to ask questions of, you want to make sure that they are where you want to be. So for example, you don't want to be watching somebody who's built a multi-million-dollar company, who has thousands of employees. If what you really want to do is start an online course and basically have a really small team of maybe 3 or 4 people. Each of those people is going to have amazing advice, but of course you want to listen to the advice of the mentor who is walking the walk most similar to what you envision for yourself. So if you're watching this video, you might already have a very definite idea of the walk you want to walk, right? Do you want to strictly work online? Do you want to sell products? Do you want to sell services? Do you want to have a huge team? Now, I'm not saying that you have to have a mentor right from the get-go, right? In the beginning, it's great to have a buffet of influencers or podcast books that you watch and you listen to. Why? As you go through your business journey, you're going to start paying attention to what it is that you actually like and and you might have a more narrow idea or a more narrow focus on where it is you want to go. In the beginning, it's kind of hard to say, this is exactly what I want to do, because that idea might change as you start experimenting with more things. For example, you might go into this thinking, I want to have a work from anywhere lifestyle. I really don't want to be tied to an office or to a particular location. And while that is all possible, you might realize that as you continue to grow your business, you might want to have a base office where you staff that office with a couple of employees. Maybe you realize that you want to have a warehouse full of products and you're going to have to hire employees to help you ship those products. What I'm trying to say is that your vision might change and you might be open to these changes, but you really won't know what those changes are going to look like until you experiment a little bit with your ideas and where you want to go. So all in all, I want you to be open to the many possibilities of starting a business, because there are a variety of options and you can always make something work for you if starting a business is what you want to do.
Number 4, consider how you will start your business.
So how do you start a business? Where do you start? What's step number 1? Well, you have to have customers, right? You need people to buy something from you, whatever it is that you're selling. Think about businesses that you frequent. If you're somebody who likes to get your nails done, how in the world did you find your favorite nail salon? How did you find your barber? How did you find your grocery store? If you have an accountant, how did you find your accountant? How did you find the person who does your taxes? Was it word of mouth? Did you see an ad? Where did you see the ad? How did you find out about your favorite restaurant? Were you doing a Google search? Think about how you find businesses generally, and then take it a step further and say, how do people find the type of thing that you want to sell? For a trademark lawyer, for example, if you're looking for a trademark lawyer, you might have Googled that, and then my videos popped up. So if you're the kind of person that's going to be offering services, ask yourself, are people mostly Googling my type of service? Are they asking friends? What are they doing? And then you have to find a way to insert yourself into that process. So let's say you're selling products. Well, where do you go when you're looking for bed sheets? Where do you go when you're looking for a rug, for a computer? Lots of people go onto Amazon nowadays. Some people still might Google it. So how can you insert yourself into that process? Do you need to put your product on Amazon? Do you need to put your product into Google somehow? Think about that process and what the consumer, what the customer is thinking. How are they finding that person? And it all starts with just putting it out there. Did you find somebody just because you were scrolling on Facebook and scrolling on Instagram? Well, then maybe you need to start producing content. Then you can dive a little bit deeper and say, where exactly did I see that content? Was it on LinkedIn? Was it on Facebook? Was it on Instagram? Where are people searching for your product or your service? Where is it more likely that they're going to come across your product or your service? So sit down and do some brainstorming. Just think about it whenever you're scrolling Instagram now. Think like a business owner and an entrepreneur.
And marketer.
Now, this last tip is actually pretty exciting for me to share with you, and that is that you are inevitably going to have weaknesses because you have to wear many, many hats when you're just starting. You have to be the person who maybe posts on social media, so you have to be a marketer. You might have to be an advertiser. You're the person who actually performs the service if that's what you're offering. If you're shipping a product, you might have to be the person who also packs and ships and takes it over to the UPS, USPS, or FedEx, or whatever service you use. So you're going to have to perform lots of different functions. Well, as you wear these many different hats, you're going to figure out which one you absolutely love doing and which one you absolutely hate doing, because maybe you're not that good at it. So if you're not that good at it, the exciting news is that as your business grows, you can figure out which of these hats you're going to delegate to somebody else. You have learned how to wear these many hats. You have learned how to be the marketer, the influencer, the customer relations representative. So when you delegate that task to someone else, you're going to have to know what exactly it is that you're delegating. And when you hire someone, hopefully they can complement what you already know. So you shouldn't just be delegating every single thing you know, but they should complement what you know by bringing in their knowledge or expertise, which should be more than what you are delegating to them. Does that make sense? So they're going to bring their skills, and coupled with your skills, you're going to have your first team member who surely will bring a lot of value to your business.
And here's a bonus tip that I just couldn't leave out.
You also want to think about whether you're going to need some kind of intellectual property for your business. Lots of business owners may think, oh my gosh, I really love this logo. I've spent so much time on it. It means so much to me. Well, if you know that you're not going to be changing your logo, then that is what you might want to protect, because you don't want anybody else to copy it and then rip you off. So you need to think about a trademark in that instance. instance, if you're somebody who is going to be selling a product and perhaps you are the creator of the product, you might want to think about patenting. Now, if you're a designer, for example, and you come up with illustrations and that's what you're selling, or if you're somebody who writes lyrics or paints paintings, you might think about a copyright. So if any of those are applicable to you, then make sure to scroll down into the description. You can contact me and I'd be more than happy to help you with IP services.
Trademark infringement is a real thing, so before landing in hot water, I want to make sure that your name and logo are good to go. Catch this video right here where I talk about more on that topic. See you in the next video.